me a second. The internet is not very good down here. How's the audio? What's the visual like? There we go. That's what we need. Right. Almost there. Almost set up. Who have we got? We've got Jim Haynes, not in the workshop, but down here in Invercargill, outside the Bill Richardson Transport World, founded in 2015. It is the world's largest private collection of trucks and stuff. There's lots of things in there. And the plan is I'll be taking Mrs. Mechanic for a wander around later on today. And maybe, just maybe, I'll do some video footage from inside the building as well, wandering around looking at all the various trucks. That's the plan. We'll wait and see. It's a very busy day. I have to get back up to Dunedin tonight, and I've still got some another motorcycle to collect. And the trailer's already full to the gunnel, so I'm going to have to use the ute for that one. We've got Killswitch BB in Invercargill with me. Yeah, good morning, Killswitch. Hi all, can't stay. Family gathering, drinking, mayhem will ensue. I'm sure it will. Jim Haynes, just going back one, on the road again. Yes, very good segue there, Jim. Left Taupo on Tuesday morning, drove up to Auckland, collected a bike, drove back to Taupo. That was Tuesday. Early Wednesday morning, had to hot-foot it down to Wellington, drop that bike off, go and pick up another one, other side of Wellington. And then that was that day done. It's still a reasonably long day, to be fair. Next morning, early start, get on the early ferry, get down to the South Island with said race bike on the trailer. Then had to blast down to Rangiora, or near Rangiora to be fair, and drop off the race bike. And then we had to get down to Timaru that evening, so that was a very, very long haul that particular day. Timaru, then we left Timaru on the Friday morning, and had to get down to Oamaru. Had a day's work in Oamaru. Very nice place. I do like Oamaru. It's got a lot of character. There's penguins that walk up and down the high street at certain times of the year, and there's even a sign there saying watch out for the penguins, which I thought was pretty cool. And then after that, we stayed in Oamaru that night, and then on the Saturday we made our way down to where did we go on the Saturday? Saturday was yesterday. Yes, we basically made all the way to Invercargill, and in the afternoon had to basically loaded up the trailer with lots and lots of different bikes. I forgot one element there actually. When we dropped the race bike off, I had an ATV to pick up, so the trailers had something on it for the entire journey. And now it's absolutely packed with bikes. We've got a couple of little Suzuki farm bikes on there. We've got an ATV that's complete, that does actually run. It's got a couple of faults that need to be fixed. And there's another ATV on there which is sort of for parts that I got given yesterday. Didn't even know I was getting it. So thanks, Kevin. And there's also a classic Honda CT110, the iconic New Zealand postie bike that they used to use for delivering all the mail to the various houses. Pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to doing I would say a restoration on that bike, to be honest. It's definitely on the cards. Who else have we got? Mike Bazansky. Sounds like my kind of event. Absolutely. Roger Heaps. Good morning, Roger. I'll be seeing you a bit later on, no doubt. Good morning, all. Mike Bazansky. Good morning from Virginia. Morning, Mike. 56 Crown Vic. Hi, Andy. Good morning, 56 Crown Vic. Jim K. Jim K is in Invercargill with us. Good morning, Jim. Great to have you on board, matey. Machine NZ. Morning, Andy. Well, I don't have my lathe here. I'm not in the workshop, but it's great to have you on board. Who else have we got? Carlos Teopa. Morning, Andy. Good morning, Carlos. And Carlton Hardy. Morning, all. God, they're all firing through now. Brendan Lee Grant Mills. Hi, Andy. How are you this week? I'm not bad. It's been a long week's driving. We're not quite at the turnaround point. I've got to head a bit further south towards Bluff and pull into a farm down there and pick up another motorcycle, another ex-farm bike. It's had a very hard life, but it'd be great to get it back up to the workshop and give it a really good inspection and plan my attack and what I'm going to do with it. It should be good fun, actually. I can't believe how many bikes I'm picking up on this particular trip. Who else have we got? Oh my word, La Fritus. Is that right? Fritus, yes. Good morning from France, Andy. Good morning, France. Yes, France, that'll do. I'm not going to try and do any kind of French accent. It's not going to work. Machine NZ, Transport World, it is. And I'm going to have a wander around. That's the plan later on today. It's closed at the moment, hence why I've been able to park the truck on the pavement. There's not too many police around, so hopefully I won't get a ticket. Kev Straw Monochrome Racing, morning to you. It's evening in the UK. Good morning, Kev. Great to have you on board. So yes, it has been quite a busy week. Now tonight, or by the end of this afternoon probably, when we finish in the Transport Museum, got to head back up to Dunedin, staying in Dunedin tonight. I've got some work to do in Dunedin tomorrow, and then we're going to head back up to Oamaru, so not too much driving on the Monday night. Staying in Oamaru again, and then got to drive up to Timaru, and I've got a day's work in Timaru. Once that's done, we've then got to drive on the Tuesday evening up to just north of Christchurch. We'll be staying somewhere, I have no idea where it is, and then the race starts. It's a very early start Wednesday morning. I've got to make it all the way up to Picton to catch the ferry. At the moment, the problem is the ferry between the North and the South Island is pretty much fully booked. It's kids on holiday from school at the moment, and if we miss that ferry, there's a very high probability we won't be able to get on the next one because it'll already be fully booked. There'll be no space for us. Coming down, I had to rejig my entire schedule because a day later when I went to go and book the ferry, three consecutive ferries were all fully booked, and I had to push my trip to the following morning, which is what made that long haul down to Oamaru such a mission, to be honest. It was supposed to be broken into 2 days. Gordon Abbott, good morning from the Isles of Sicily. Wow, I think, Gordon, that's the first person we've had on the live stream from the Isles of Sicily, so welcome aboard. Now, what else? Yes, let's have a little look at what this Transport Museum is all about. I found the website, so let me turn you round and we'll take a little look. Right, 3, 2, 1. There we go. So that's the view from the front, and here we go, look. Can't really get you much closer. That's about as good as it's going to get. Okay, so we've got, it's called Bill Richardson's Transport World, and it was founded in 2015. It's the largest private automotive museum of its type in the world, with more than 300 vintage vehicles. Now then, it's got a cafe in there, which will be great to go visit. Oh, it's even got a grill. It's called the grill. So one man's passion. So Bill's passion started, what did he do? Back in his shed. It's been transformed as a truly spectacular family legacy. Entrepreneur Bill Richardson poured decades of dedication into restoring classic trucks. Now his family has infused his collection with their own interests to create a world-class experience that's become Invercargill's leading visitor attraction, boasting a collection including Henry Ford's letter cars, 1930s V8s, Volkswagen Combis, and vintage trucks of all makes and models, including the show-stopping 1940 Dodge Airflow Texaco tanker, which is that one there, look, by the looks of it. Bloody cool. Can't wait to have a wander around that one. So Bill Richardson Transport World is a petrol head's heaven, or haven, with engaged children's zones, a movie theatre, wearable arts, and more. Here you can expect the unexpected. Wearable arts, that's a little bit like that one, that WOW in Nelson, isn't it? So there you go, a quick scan. I'm sure you'll be able to find it on the net. It's very easy to It's just called transportworld.co.nz actually. So yeah, we'll have a little look in there, and there'll probably be a video that'll hit the channel at some point, maybe even later next week if I get a chance to edit it up while I'm down here. It does look very, very cool. They've also got the motorcycle museum in town, which I visited a couple of years ago, which I plan to go back and do another visit, and this time actually do a video on it. Right, turning you around. Oh, there we go, look. Good pan view there, wasn't it? So, what have you guys been up to this week? Let's just wander back. We've got... Oh my word. Right. Oh, just got to scroll down, bear with me. It's very cold down here. I should have put my jacket on, shouldn't I? At least it's not raining. Invercargill's renowned for rain and wind and pretty squally weather, to be honest. Connor K. Good morning, Connor. Great to have you on board, mate. Hey, Andy and crew. Roger Heaps. My dad has one of the Bill Richardson's early Bedford trucks. Early 50s long nose. Wow. Managed to keep hold of that one then. Jim K. All those animals making noise. You mean the birds? There are a few birds around, but it's... Yeah, I suppose. I can hear them. Yep. So, winches. I've been doing a few videos on winches recently. It's something which really in the motorcycle world, it's now that ATVs, well certainly ROVs are becoming a much bigger thing in the farming environment here in New Zealand especially. You know, technicians are sort of struggling to work their way around how to diagnose faults on winches. You know, is it the contactor block? Is it a fault in the motor? Is it customer induced, which is often the case. A lot of customers are not really aware of what you can and can't do with a winch, and usually it ends up with them burning the motor out. So I'm truly trying to educate technicians here in New Zealand, those that work on these particular vehicles, on, you know, how to repair them, how to diagnose the faults and do the repairs. Repairs are usually pretty simple, but it's the diagnostics that tend to throw them a little bit. And also, you know, the importance of passing on when doing the handover of a new vehicle, or explaining to a customer after the winch has been repaired, you know, how the problem has occurred and what they need to do to just, you know, preserve the winch and not cause any future damage and have a repeat failure. So there's another video going to hit the channel covering the planetary gearbox strip down of that particular winch. I've actually picked up another winch that's failed, so there'll be another autopsy on that. It's a different model. So we're going to, again, it's a worn winch. We're going to go through that and see why that one failed as well. I think it's a very different failure. The first winch, if you've not watched the video, it basically was, you know, overheated and burnt out the armature. That was sort of the fundamental fail. Now then, Jim K. Sounded like a two-stroke, really. Scat Cat 1944. What a name. Burt Monroe is from there. He is. We pulled up. Mrs. Mechanic took Team Marmite, the shop dog, for a wander around. Was it the Queen's Park or Queen Elizabeth Park? I think there's a big park in Invercargill. Really nice park. Actually, been there for a long time. It's huge. And there is just outside is a big bronze monument, big casting of Burt Monroe in his, or so to say, well, he actually is in, because he's fully fed in his, you know, world-class, record-breaking bike. Very, very cool. She actually took some pictures, so maybe I'll try and include it in one of the videos next time. Now then, where are we? Mike Bazansky. Had the regulator rectifier tested. Bad on my 1991 Africa Twin. One diode tested bad. Could the bad regulator rectifier have ruined my battery? Possibly. If it's been overcharging, then yes, it will have damaged your battery for sure. Have a look at your battery. Usually an indication of an overcharged battery is the sides of the battery have started to swell, or if you can see the electrolyte, if it's a maintenance type battery with the little screws on top, and you can actually see the electrolyte, then often it'll boil that away, and you'll find cells that will be way below where they should be, you know, on the minimum maximum. But definitely could have caused a problem with it. The other option is just charge it up and test it. You know, if you've got a load tester, you could test the battery. That would be pretty good. Or you could just charge it up, put a say a headlight bulb across it for a little bit to take it for surface charge, and then just test the voltage. If you're a cell down, you'll see it very clearly on your multimeter. You'll be about 2 volts down on what it should be. So you'll be about, you know, 10.5 volts as opposed to, you know, 12.5. Where's Mrs. Mechanic at the moment? That's a very good question. Well, I did leave Mrs. Mechanic in bed, but I don't think she's going to have much of a sleep in. I reckon she's probably going to take Marmite for a walk. She's told me I can only do a 1-hour live stream. That I'm just looking at the hour meter on the live stream, and it says, at my end at least, that I've been doing this live stream for 336 hours, 37 minutes and 48 seconds. That's probably a world record. I only started it just before 8:30, so I think there's a problem with YouTube at the moment. It did take a very long time to latch into launching the live stream. I was a bit concerned, to be honest. So yes, we're gonna call it a day at 9:30 at the latest. I've got to whiz over and pick up a trailer and then get down towards Bluff and collect another bike, and we're going to have to do a bit of rejigging of the trailer. We're going to have to put one of the quad bikes on the back of the tray to make enough space on the trailer for this last motorcycle. Man, it's cold down here. It reminds me of being in Queenstown. John Nuttall, hi, have you had your windscreen replaced yet? I did. That was done a couple of weeks ago. Not shortly. It was done once I got back from the South Island. There was about a two-week lead time for them to fit me in and get a screening to stock. But they did the whole fitment in about 2 hours. I was quite impressed how quickly they did it, and they even hoovered out the truck. That's the first hoover out it's had since I got it. So it's a lot cleaner, but it was a lot cleaner in there. It's not really that clean anymore. I tend to live in my truck, which is a bit weird. Marine Velocity, here we go. Hey Andy, sorry I'm late, mates. Don't worry about it, it's all good. We're just stood outside the Bill Richardson Transport World Museum, world famous, by the way, here in Invercargill. It's their top tourist attraction, and I think they've done a fantastic job. If it's anything to go by their motorcycle museum that's in town, this will be a fantastic experience. I've not been around yet, and the plan is later on, once I've done the trailer stuff and collected the last bike, I'm going to head back into Invercargill. There are quite a few parks just down the road, so hopefully I can dump the trailer down there and probably take up 4 or 5 car parking spaces in a row, hopefully, and then we can go for a wander around, and I can, you know, do a bit of footage from the inside as well, which will be really cool. Coffee's getting cold quick down here. Jeez. So what's planned for next week? Well, Monday and Tuesday I'm working. I've got training to do. I'm doing the training, not receiving the training. And then Wednesday, Thursday will be basically driving home. Friday I'm going to take off because I've put a lot of hours in these last few days. So I'll have essentially another long weekend. The following week, I'm going to be doing some more visits up the east coast of the North Island. So I'll be away again on the road for another 3 days doing that. But over the weekend, I'll have, well, the long weekend, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I have lots of time to do some more videos. I really want to have a look at another winch that I picked up yesterday and work out what the problem is, and that will be done to camera. It'll be interesting to find out why it's failed or why it's not working. The mechanic that I spoke to that took an initial look yesterday, he said, well, I couldn't find a fault. So I'm intrigued to find out what's happened to the motor, maybe, or is the gearbox jammed? I just don't know. We'll find out, and I'll take you on that journey for sure. Connor K, only permitted an hour-long live stream. Everybody click the like before time runs out. Yes, I've got to keep it short today. Sorry, crew. And in all honesty, I haven't got too many props and bits and pieces like I have in the workshop to draw into a live stream. So this is more about your input than it is mine, I think. I'm going to run out of material if I'm not careful. Machine NZ, what training are you doing, Andy, if you can say? Bit difficult to say, to be honest. I don't want to delve too deeply into, you know, the tasks that I do for my day job. You know, it might cause problems further down the line, but yeah, it's basically training for new staff. That's I think I can say that. Yeah, should be okay. Fingers crossed. I'll let you know if I've still got a job next week. Jim Haynes, what does the missus do when you're in the shops working? She does a lot of walking. We actually managed to bring Marmite, the shop dog, down with us on this trip. If we hadn't been able to do that, Mrs. Mechanic would be at home. Obviously, you know, somebody needs to stay back and look after the mite of Mom. But she basically did a bit of research. I gave her my schedule. She did some research. I managed to find enough motels along the route that would allow us to have a dog in the room, which I was quite surprised at, to be honest. I didn't realise there was that many motels that were amenable to that kind of thing. But there is. New Zealand, and it seems pretty good for that kind of stuff. So for the future, Mrs. Mechanic will no doubt be coming along on quite a lot more of my especially my long trips. You know, she quite enjoys touring the country, and she gets to see all the little different townships and stuff, and she probably knows a lot more about the places than I do, because I just get there, do my work, and then get on to the next town. She has a really good wander around. She did, I think in Oamaru, she said she did 15 kilometres walking around with Marmite. We thought actually we killed the mite of Marm that night. Marmite just fell asleep and just didn't move till the following morning. She just did comatose, just completely flaked out. So I think it was probably a little bit too much walking for her. Jim Haynes, the truck is really full when you left. Yes, it was. It seems that whenever I come down to the South Island, heading back home, she's well loaded up. I mean, this time around we've got the trailer as well, so yeah, I mean, the truck itself's not too bad, but like I said, there'll be a quad bike up on the top deck to go back, but yeah, it's alright. Towed a bigger trailer, not a problem. The little trailer's doing well. My wheelbarrow is hanging in there that I fitted, so I'm quite happy with that. Mike Bazansky, is there a BP nearby? Have you had a pie? Great segue, Mike. Okay, well, there's a BP Girl. That's not the fully fledged BPs of the Wild Bean Cafe, but I did get myself a coffee. There we are. So the Girl ones are called Hungry As. They're a different sort of, maybe a different franchise, different brand. I don't know. I don't know how the structure is inside the BP stations. Whether the Wild Bean is a separate business that just leases space, or whether it's actually part of the main site, and the same goes with the Hungry As. But coffees are pretty good. Guys did a good job. It's a bit cold now though. As regards, I couldn't let you guys down. So as regards pie, Hungry As pie in here. Now speaking to, I'm going to give the guys a shout out actually. I'm speaking to Sheldon and Jamie, both of them actually, a couple of days ago. Good friends of mine. Sheldon is basically an engineer. He's not a mechanic, he's an engineer. He's way above mechanic status. And Jamie's worked in a Toyota dealership for many years. And we just got talking about pies, and it was the conversation was, or pies of New Zealand. The conversation was quite detailed. You know, we were talking about pie structure, and the fluidity of the internals, you know, how easy it is to eat and not dribble down your front and all that kind of thing, and obviously the content, the tastiness of the inners, and of course pastry integrity as well, you know, and the crustiness, or is it soggy, all the different kinds of pies that we've come across over the years. And then Sheldon said to me, he said, look, you need to do a pie review on your channel. So Sheldon, we agreed it was going to happen. And I think we're going to do it a little bit like the old Top Gear, what was it, not Stars in the Car, but it was where the celebrities would take their reasonably priced car around the racetrack. They'd have a metal stand, and they'd put the little, you know, the magnetic strips on there with the person's name and the time. Well, we've got a tool girl cabinet that's one of the doors is clear. So we'll get some of those magnetic strips with the white vinyl on, and we'll do some kind of a leaderboard for the pies of New Zealand, and we can do a different one, you know, each Sunday morning during the live streams when I'm back in the workshop, and maybe even do some live streams out on the road testing the pies. That could be fun, couldn't it? It's not very automotive, but a bit of fun. This one's only a steak pie, and it's already very cold. And I have no pie warmer with me. It's actually quite dry. It is. Not a fan of these ones. Man, the wild bean ones are much, much better. And it doesn't help that it's cold. But it's very, very dry pastry. Look at that. Jeez. Now then, Roger Heaps. Oh, dog is with me, so no dog around when you get the trailer. Excellent. Roger doesn't have a dog. It's more like a horse, a small horse. It's massive. Pretty friendly though. Didn't have any problems yesterday. Marmite can get out safely. Excellent. Thank you, Roger. She was pretty scared when she saw the size of your dog, I tell you. She looked very worried. She doesn't like big dogs. She got attacked a few years ago by two. I was out for, believe it or not, I was out on a run. Or was it a walk? Might have been a walk that time. And I took Marmite with me, and we were going down this gravel road, and we decided to explore another gravel road that went off. So we went down there, and we were going, walking past the house, and I heard this sort of running of almost like hooves, going across the grass, and I looked up, and there were two huge dogs heading towards us, and the gate to the property was open. And obviously the obvious thing happened, well, before I knew it, Marmite was in the mouth of one of these dogs. It had picked her up and it was shaking her around, and unfortunately Andy had to go into ballistic mode and retrieve Marmite, which was quite a physical experience. I don't want to go into too many details, but yeah, I mean, it could have turned out pretty bad. There were two big dogs and I could have got quite badly mauled, but I did rescue the Marmite and I came out without any injuries, and the dogs eventually ran away. It was quite a scary moment, and Marmite's never really recovered from that. She's always very, very scared of big dogs now. Connor K. Holly said she likes to wrench on American muscle cars. She does very much. Could she talk about, or hang on, sorry, it just jumped. Could she talk about or show any cars she has sometime? Absolutely. We've got, I don't want to give a spoiler alert away, but Holly's going to have a lot more involvement in the channel in the forthcoming weeks, maybe a month, maybe 6 weeks away. We've got big plans already, coming to fruition in the background. Holly's working hard to get everything set up. So watch this space. I don't want to announce anything yet. We're going to announce it when she comes down to my workshop, when we do the filming for another weekend, and then you'll get to hear all about the new plans of what's going to happen and what she's going to be doing on the channel. Should be great. I'm very, very much looking forward to it. Connor K, anything you can do to incorporate any aspect of old Top Gear into your channel would be great. At least that is what some say. I do like the old Top Gears. Ben over the years has downloaded a lot of the Top Gear episodes, as has my brother-in-law actually. We've got them all on a hard drive, and often, it's weird, it's just nice to re-engage and re-watch the old ones and bring back that command. What was it? The banter. I can't even pronounce the other word. The banter between the three of them. It's quite unique. I do really enjoy, even watching repeats. It's just good old times, eh? I agree with you, Connor, and yes, we should try and do that. Jim Haynes. Oh, just jumped away. Sorry, Jim. Right, I'm going to attempt another bite of this pie, but it is really dry. I might have to abort mission on this one. There's crumbs everywhere. Right, any messages? I think somebody sent me a message. Hang on. Oh, right, here we go, look. Mark Howe. Mark is a viewer, so maybe you can help with this one. Hey Andy, there is a car. It's a 2001 Nissan Primera P12, 2.5 litre. Engine at the moment is not going. I believe it has no spark. I was thinking about buying it. Now Mark does buy a lot of cars and fixes them up. Buying it cheap and maybe getting it going. So I would get your advice on this. I pulled the ignition coil off with spark plug and put it against the metal and got someone to turn the key over, and I could find, hang on, I think he means he couldn't find. I couldn't find any spark. Do you have any advice on what road I should go down to sort of check next? I'll wait for your answer. Thanks. Okay, well I'll message Mark a bit later on with some kind of an idea of where he needs to go. It might even be an immobilizer issue. I don't know what kind of accessories that particular vehicle's got on, so we'll work it out. So if you've got any ideas, tell Mark. You'll find him on Facebook. Mark Howe. So yes, on the trailer at the moment there are, is it a TL? I keep forgetting. I think a TL or a TF. I'm not that familiar with Suzuki models. Suzuki TF125, I think it is. Yes. So we've got two very, very well used and sort of abandoned behind the back of the garage kind of bikes. So there's a lot of greenery on them, and you'll see that when they go up on the hoist. This is what Suzuki say about the TF125, and it's a two-stroke engine, by the way, and it has been discontinued now, I believe. The TF125, powered by a tough and reliable power reed valve air-cooled two-stroke engine, is a bike that's tailor-equipped to, oh dear, terrible English. To put a full stop in there that shouldn't be there. To fully meet the requirements of a runabout vehicle in versatile, tough work use. It's topped off by special protectors extended. That's it. Maybe that's just an abbreviation. But I wouldn't be very happy if I was the one in the marketing department that wrote that, to be honest. Oh, extended fenders, both right and left side stands, big luggage carrier and wide tread block pattern tyres, ready for rough road riding. A very, very popular bike here in New Zealand for use on farms. There's a picture of it just here, look. This is not the one that I picked up, or the two that I picked up. This is a brand new one, so it looks a lot different. There you go, look. What a machine. So I suppose the ultimate aim eventually would be to restore one of those two bikes. I just don't know what I've got to deal with yet. They look in a very, very poor state, and to bring it back to that kind of condition, it's going to require a lot of work, but we'll see. We'll wait and see. There we go, look. Man, I think my body's just freezing up at the moment. We've got 30 viewers and 14 thumbs up. Come on, gentlemen, I'm sure you can click the thumbs up button. Right. Okay. Where are we? Any more questions? I'm sure there's more questions. Things are starting to happen down the road. People are arriving. They're going to wonder what the hell's going on out the front. Mike Bazanski, how do you get the quad on the back of the truck? Well, Roger has a tractor, and I'm pretty sure the tractor has a front loader. So we'll just put a couple of straps over the quad, and it's not a full quad, it's just a chassis with an engine, front A-arms, front wheels, which I'll probably take the front wheels off, and we'll just lower it on the top. And I've got a big, really thick rubber mat inside the tray that I'll put on top just to protect the top side of it. So it shouldn't be too hard. In all honesty, I'm pretty sure Roger and myself could lift it on manually anyway. It's not, but I just don't want to risk damaging the side of the truck in case one of us slips, that's all. I have had full-size quads on the back crossways before. It's not ideal. It's not really big enough, but it does work. You've got to make sure you strap them on properly, that's for sure. Jim Haynes, Did they sell the American cars back in the day, or one car at a time in the later days? I know I helped a friend get some parts for an older Chevy pickup that was sold in South Africa new. I don't know, Jim. I don't know whether the American muscle cars were actually sold here in New Zealand from dealerships, if that's what you're on about, or whether they were just individually imported and then put on the road here. I couldn't tell you. I've not been in New Zealand for long enough. I have no idea. I'm going to go one more bite. It's not great. Definitely at the bottom of the list at the moment. Oh, holy moly. I'm going to have to delay getting doing the video on the rear wheel rebuild for the little DR200. Unfortunately, I have to work that day now. The second scheduled day I have to work, so we'll have to push that back another couple of weeks, I think, before I can get back up to Matakana, where he's based near there. The paintwork, all the panels that were getting painted, so the side panels, the headlight shroud and stuff, in the headlight mounts as well, they're all getting painted up. They should be ready for pickup when I get back to Auckland, so hopefully I can get those installed. We've got some new rubbers coming. They haven't arrived yet for the headlight mounts, top and bottom. They're not, well, I've got two in stock, which are the upper ones, but the lower ones haven't arrived yet. So once all that turns up, I can get all the headlight put back on. I can get the wiring connected, and then I can get the carbs balanced, and then I can basically put the rest of the bike back together. The part we're going to be waiting for the longest will be that top clamp, the one that's cracked, but that's an easy replace even with the bike together, so it shouldn't be too difficult. And I won't be tightening those clamp bolts up very tight at all. It'll be gingerly for sure. Roger Heaps, yes, American cars were sold, but only pre-50s, I think. Wow, thanks Roger, appreciate that. Machine NZ, off now Andy, we'll watch the rest later. Thanks for the stream. Hey, that's alright matey. Sorry the content's a bit thin on the ground today, it's a bit weird down here. I'd love to do a live stream from the inside of the building, but that's just not possible. I didn't organise it in advance, and in all honesty, they don't open until 10 AM, and I need to get other jobs done. So maybe next time I'm down in Invercargill, or maybe I'll organise it where I can actually do a live stream from the inside. I'm sure they'll be very happy to do that. You know, it's good PR for them, isn't it? So, yes, DR200, where are we at with that? Other than the rear wheel? Well, there's a few more parts still to arrive. Yes, front hub. I did find the second spare front wheel under the workbench. So I gave it an inspection and found that one of the wheel bearings had worked loose in the hub. So it's now basically the hub is oversized where the bearing fits. I've probably got a couple of options. The wheel needs to be rebuilt anyway because the spokes are all really quite badly corroded. One is I could cut the spokes out, put the hub in the lathe and machine it out to the next bearing size, and then just, obviously it won't be standard, it'll be, or I could make a sleeve to put in the, machine it out and then put a sleeve in the hub. I priced up a new hub from Suzuki. They are available individually rather than a complete wheel, and it was over $500. An absolute no-no. There's no way I'm going to spend another $500 on that bike. It really is getting pretty steep on the on the budget that we've put towards it already. Yes, it's got a long way to ride, but the wheel is only a spare wheel, just in case we get a puncture or a problem. I can change it really quickly by having a spare. So I think probably I'll go for the sleeve. That's the plan. I'll give it a go with the sleeve, so we can do a video on machining it out and putting the new bearings in. I need to find out what the next size up bearing is, and then just make sure there's enough meat. Yeah, I could just do that. I could, rather than put a sleeve in it, just put a slightly larger OD of bearing in there. That'd be the easiest option, wouldn't it? Less problems of it coming loose, that's for sure. Machine NZ, I have some work to do, otherwise we'll carry on watching. Safe journey. Thank you very much, Machine NZ. No problem, fully understand, we're all busy. Oh my word, R134A Hull. Funny. Are Nissan factory struts and springs better or not better than aftermarket loaded struts from parts store? I think genuine Nissan parts are extremely good quality, or they used to be when I was buying them. If you're buying aftermarket, you've just got to be careful you're buying a quality product. There's a full array of parts available aftermarket, starting from the absolutely crap right up to very good quality. It's all about really how much you pay, but do some research first. Don't just jump in there and buy the first brand that you find. John Nuttall, your thoughts on iridium plugs? The low rev misfire was a plug issue on the ZZR 1400. Less than 5 months use from the last change. That's no good at all, is it? I don't really fit iridium plugs, to be honest. Some manufacturers stipulate them in their specs. It might just be down to the fact that they like to have extended service intervals. Can't really comment much more than that. They're just bloody expensive. For bikes, I don't fit them unless they are stipulated. I don't usually upgrade to iridium plugs. You know, I just go for the standard NGK stuff, and I don't have any problems with them, to be honest. Was it an iridium plug that was in the bike previously, or are you thinking about upgrading to iridium plugs to help prevent the problem occurring again? Interesting, that. I mean, it might just have been a faulty plug. It does happen. Bloody hell, it's cold down here. It's still very quiet. What time are we on? Alright, it's coming up to 9:10. And this live stream, according to YouTube, has been going for 337 days. No, 337 hours and 4 minutes straight. I think that's pretty impressive. No wonder I'm chilly. Oh my word! Right, one more bite. I keep going for this pipe. I mean, it's just so dry. Honestly, look, you see the pastry is just, it's not good. I'll show you something. Look, it's very, very crummy. Bad pie. Yes, it's going to score very, very low on the mess down the front of shirt rating, isn't it? It's hot here at Orlando, 92 degrees Fahrenheit. It's bloody freezing down here. I don't know what temperature it is at the moment. Let's have a look. Temperature in Invercargill. It says it's 9 degrees C. It feels a lot colder than that, that's for sure. Bloody hell. Yes, so before I'm allowed to do, this is my own rule obviously, I can't do any work on those little, what were they, little TF125s, or the CT110, or the ATV until I've done Jared's buggy. Jared has been incredibly patient. He does watch these live streams sometimes, so if you are watching, Jared, my sincere apologies. That buggy has been sat on my workbench now, must be 8 months. Must be 7 or 8 months, just sat there waiting for Andy to do what he needs to do to it. And it's not that big a job. I mean, fixing the frame up is probably a day's work. I really need to get on with it, but I set myself a rule. I have to finish the DR and the CB750 before I can start on the buggy. But given the delays in parts, I might have to breach that rule and make a start on it for him. maybe at the weekend. I've got 3 days, and I've got most of the materials already in stock, so it is something I can get on with. We'll see. Only need 5 more thumbs up for 100%. Good man. Choppers Rule 1. Good day, mate. How's it going? It's going just fine. Bit bloody cold though. Roger Heaps, sent a picture of the dog on the back of the bike. Did you now? Let's have a look. Hang on. Did you email it, Roger, or did it come through on Facebook or Messenger? Maybe it's Messenger. Let's have a look. All right, it's not landed yet. It hasn't arrived. Maybe it's trying to find some internet to get out. Now then, Jim Haynes. We use KYB shocks and struts whenever we can get them. They are very good quality. Yes, I've heard that KYB are excellent quality. Thanks, Jim. Choppers Rule 1. I found a 1983 Subaru Brumbury Ute. They are awesome. A friend of mine down in Queenstown has got a white one. In great condition here in Australia. Well, keep hold of it. They are really cool little utes. There was quite a few of those around in the UK, but most of them have rotted away now, given the salty roads and just the general damp conditions of the UK through the wintertime. Carlton Hardy, you should try Southern US breakfast biscuit. What's that? Oh, here we go. Right, Roger sent a photo. Bear with me. Oh, there we go, look. This is Roger's horse. No, sorry, dog. Look at the size of that dog. Monster. And when he barks, he woof, really deep. You know to get the hell out of the way. And the lad means business. Very cool. Thanks, Roger. Appreciate that. Just leading the cows in. That's what he's doing. That's a US breakfast biscuit. I have no idea what the hell that is. Let's have a look. US. Oh, it's a savoury thing. Oh, they're like an American, like what we call a scone or a scone, depending on where you're from. Oh no, buttermilk plain flavour. Yeah, so basically it's a scone, isn't it? So we put jam and cream on one of them. In actual fact, on the ferry coming here, they did a scone with jam and cream, and I had one. Mrs. Mechanic had one. Actually, it wasn't too bad. I'm going in for the pie again. I'm just hungry. But in all honesty, if I wasn't hungry, this would go in the bin. What a waste. So, Carlton, I probably have had something very similar to the US breakfast biscuit. Choppers Rule 1. Oh, hang on. R134A hole. Remember, always lube up KYB shocks with KY jelly, otherwise no warranty. I'm not sure if you... Anyway, I'm not going to elaborate on that. Choppers Rule 1. I'm looking for an ignition for it. The one I have is playing up. If you can find me a good one, I don't mind paying for it. Okay, so are we talking ignition barrel? Are we talking, the ignition coil? I take it it's probably still distributor. What part of the ignition system can you clarify, and we can try and find some. So flick me an email. Probably the best idea is flick me an email with a couple of photos of what it is you need, and I'll spread the word on my network here. I'm pretty sure, in fact, I can even speak to Scott, who has one in Queenstown. He runs the off-road driving centre down there, to see where he gets his parts from. I'm pretty sure we can source one for you. Jim Haynes. Iridium is to limit gap erosion when you have a coil-on plug type ignition with a fine wire electrode, as I've seen on regular plugs. Make coil on or coil near plug ignition hard to start and misfire. Right, well, thank you for that clarification, Jim. Oh, sorry, barrel. So you need a new ignition barrel. Okay. Right, well, send me a couple of pictures so I've got, you know, some kind of identification to make sure we get the right one. You're not asking too much. With door locks would be cool. Yes, I know you can use the same key then, but that's probably not going to happen. And if it does happen, it'd be ridiculously expensive. So if you include in the email a photo of the VIN plate, that should give us all the information we need to know about the year of the vehicle and that kind of stuff. And I'll put it out there. I'll see if I can find one for you. No problem. Holy crap, I'm starting to shiver now. Yes, email address is on, it's in the description of the video. Pretty sure it is. Let's have a little look because I'm watching now. It should be. Yes, andymechanic@live.co.uk. If you scroll down a bit, it's just underneath the PO box address. Bloody hell. Okay, any more questions? I can wish. Bloody hell. Right, okay crew, I think actually, given the fact I'm freezing my nuts off out here and I've got a lot of work to do, we're going to call the live stream a day. Sorry it's a short one, but it was nice to call in and catch up with all you guys, and I will hopefully be heading in there to the museum a bit later on. Oh, we've got another one, hang on. There's all sorts popping in. V8 Bergner, good morning. Is that an American pickup truck in the background? It is, by the looks of it. I'm going to find out later on. 134 A-hole. Working on a 2000 BMW 750 V12. Holy crap. Has a head gasket leak. Oh, good luck with that. Coolant in the oil. 110,000 miles. Should I fix or replace the engine? Can get used with a 90,000 miles for 900 bucks. And does the used one come with like a 3-month warranty on it? That sounds like probably the easiest option is just to swap the engine out. I'm pretty sure you'll burn through 900 bucks pretty quick trying to fix the one that you're doing, and you might find other problems with it. Plus, don't forget, the one that you pull out may well still have a residual value. Choppers Rule 1, I found it! I got a brand new tail light for it from Japan. Ah, well done. John Dwyer, hey Andy, from me in the UK. Well, good morning, John. John Nuttall, take a photo of the live stream time you have. That's a good idea. I can do that. This is going to be really weird. You're going to see my other phone now. Bear with me. Oh my word. I did that. How's that? See, I'll never ever have 337 hours of continuous live stream in my entire life, no doubt. So that's pretty impressive. Jim Haynes, I used to have a friend that owned a small bakery, and would call her scones scrots because of appearance, just to get her wound up when I go there. Scrots. Yes, I suppose did they taste all right? I mean, you know, you can't always go by appearance. Anyway, crew, I think we're about there. Thanks, enjoy the stream. Put a shrimp on the barbie for me. Okay, crew, well, thank you very much for joining. Sorry it's a short live stream. I am freezing my nuts off out here. I should have worn my jacket. Run out of material for the live stream anyway. Thanks for all your comments. Hopefully we've had a bit of fun, and I will see you all. Oh, hang on, Choppers Rule 1. I will send you an email later today. I'm going to a car show with a little cat rod, hot rod I made. Nice. Well, have fun there, won't you? If you want to support the channel, you can do that through Patreon or PayPal. You know how it works. For those that do support the channel, in whatever format that takes, you know who you are. Thank you very, very much. Really do appreciate it. And yes, I think we should do some kind of a pie leaderboard. Give me your thoughts on that. Okay, group. Until next time. Cheers. Over and out.